my
Right.
question would be, what helped you understand the industry and the requirements? And for someone who's maybe trying to do that today, what are maybe some certifications or programs that you would recommend going into quality?
Yeah, I think what really drove the change from production into quality is I've always been a very process oriented person. I've always tried to look at things from that 30,000-foot view to understand, even if my task or my job is a very small piece of that machine, how is what I'm doing going to affect everyone up and downstream? And are there things that I can do to make life easier, better, and ultimately result in a higher quality product? And when I was at that facility, not the dog food plant, but the one where I was moved out of production into quality, my role was literally to grab glass bottles with my hands and put them on a conveyor for 12 hours a day. That was my job. And I quickly realized that is a very labor intensive, not so efficient kind of process. And what we ended up doing, myself and one of the other temps, is we created kind of a miniature production line where instead of everyone grabbing two bottles in each hand, placing them on the conveyor, walking back to the pallet, back and forth, we created kind of a daisy chain system of passing bottles down through a human line. And it ended up being about twice as fast just doing it that way. And so one day we were standing on the line, and the quality director of that site walked over, and he was just staring at us for probably 2 straight hours, just mean mug staring at us. And I was like, I'm going to be fired. I don't know what I'm doing. Did I not change my gloves? What's happening? And he pulled me to the side and said, if you're interested in quality, I have something for you in receiving inspection. And so I ended up moving immediately into that incoming inspection role. Really enjoyed learning how to aseptically sample product, and learned a lot about statistical process control and inspection methodology, testing, all of that fun stuff. But I think as far as taking that leap, and some tools, resources, and certifications that I found to be really helpful, ASQ, the American Society for Quality, is the number one place and the number one group that I think has really shaped my technical approach to quality. I have the ASQ Certified Manager of Quality Organizational Excellence certification, a few others, Certified Quality Auditor, all of that fun stuff. And there are certifications really for anyone at any level within the quality profession in a very industry agnostic way as well. You don't have to be a food and beverage person or a cosmetics person. You can work in automotive, aerospace and defense, hard goods, any industry. And quality, I like to think, is really 80% transferable across any industry. And so leaning on ASQ webinars, the certification training courses, and the handbooks themselves has been huge. I have the ASQ Certified Manager of Quality Organizational Excellence handbook at my desk, and I flip through it all the time. If I'm looking for some investigational technique that I can't remember how to do offhand, I know I can flip to that page and it'll walk me through it. So it's a very biblical text in my life, that ASQ handbook. And I think also being fortunate to have had the opportunity to work with some of what I would say are the most hardcore quality people you could possibly imagine. I think a lot of the stereotypical, very hard nosed, black and white, it's either good or bad quality leader. I've worked with a lot of people like that. For better or worse, I think there's merit to that in some cases. If we're talking about food, we have a food safety issue. That's black and white. We don't want to try to find a gray area here to make a product that tested positive for salmonella make its way into the marketplace, because we don't want
Mhm.
to destroy that lot. I think having access to mentors and leaders is huge. And I think there's no better place to learn what quality is than during an audit, right? Where your feet are put to the fire, and the systems and processes that you work inside of every day are eviscerated basically by an auditor. They want to figure out what you're doing wrong. They want you, maybe they don't want you to fail, but they want you to prove to them that you've intellectually thought through as many real world scenarios as you can. And you've designed your system in such a way that you will prevent the occurrence of those issues. And if they do occur, you have a structured pathway to resolve whatever situation came up. And I really enjoyed that aspect of quality, and that's a killer spot to learn.